Hi everybody, my name is Patrick. I'm with Gill's Motorworks. Today we're going to be working on a Toyota Sequoia. I haven't been able to find a lot of write-ups or videos about the exhaust manifold. This is going to be on the driver's side. It's calling for about a 5 to 6 hour process. I'm going to try to get it done faster than that. Since there's not really any walkthrough or guides, I'm going to take some videos along the way, show you how I've done it, or I'm going to figure out how to do it. And hopefully this helps some other people. So with no further ado, let's begin. Luckily I have a lift. Yeah, it's a truck lift. I don't have a 2-post at my shop yet, but so what I got here is I'm going to just start here with the exhaust manifold. We're going to pull the 3 bolts, get this part kind of loosened up here. You can see there's kind of a grommet there. I will replace that little O-ring gasket. I recommend doing that with this manifold job. And the other problems we're going to have here are, there's the motor mount, which I do believe I'm going to have to support the engine and remove that bracket, because as you can see in there, there's one of the manifold bolts is like right under the motor mount bracket. So I don't know. I'm going to think about that one and come back to it. But for right now, I'm just going to loosen those 3 bolts. So the first thing after I loosen those bolts is there's a little shield right here. It goes like right up there. Just 2 bolts. So that comes down. So that's the first part after that so far. Now what I'm going to be working on is trying to get the heat shield off the header. So there's 1 bolt right there. Let's see here. There's another bolt right there. And I believe there's probably a couple more on top, and then that heat shield should come off. Also, another thing you're going to want to do somewhere along the line is remove that O2 sensor. I have an O2 sensor socket remover, so if you don't have one, they're cheap. Go grab one, saves you a lot of time. Alright. So, like I was telling you before, there's 2 top bolts, 2 bottom bolts. Sits in there like this. As you can see, I removed the battery and the tray. Way more room to get in there with your arm. And then I just pulled it out through up there and got this part out. So now we're going to look at the header bolts and go from there. So looking at it from here, I think I can get all the bolts pretty much from up top. I'm going to get definitely the top bolts, but I was thinking before I had to remove that motor mount. I'm not too definite on that yet, but I'm pretty sure I can get a socket underneath this manifold to get to that bolt. That's really the only bolt I'm worried about. The rest of them I can get from underneath or up on top. This is going to depend if you have a lift or not. So, and then the rest of it, once I get the manifold off, I'm going to try to drop it out and kind of like down in that way. So we'll see what happens. Or maybe I can drop it and just pull it up through here. It's a small manifold, so there'll be more to come in this video, so don't worry. I'm gonna figure out how to do this, and then you can probably just fast forward and figure out how I did it. So alright. So yeah, I had to pull this motor mount bracket. The first thing I'm doing here is I'm pulling this bolt and this bolt, so 14 and 12, and then the rest of the bracket's a bolt there, a bolt on the bottom, and then on the other side as well, 2 bolts. So the other thing you might want to remove, it's totally up to you, is just that little wiring bracket, and I think the rest is history. So here we go. So I got the motor mount off. It's 4 bolts, 2 here, 1, and then 2 over here. And then the motor mounts 2 bolts. And what I did is it was sitting up like this. I just took something and I hit it right there and it pushed it back, and then I lifted it off. So there you go. Now just loosen those 4 bolts on the bottom and it comes off, it loosens up. Patrick with Gill's Motorworks. We had to get a new header because the other one had cracked, so look out around the edges for that. But as you can see, we got the new header on, new gasket. Just torquing down the bolts. They do torque down to 30 foot-pounds. So if you're looking for that specification, And then what I'm doing, I couldn't really find a map of how to do it. But what I do is starting from the middle, so it's each one's like this. So I go middle in, middle out, middle in, middle out, and then so forth and so forth. Just kind of span yourself out. That way you go from the middle out here and the middle out here. That's how you do it with most any gaskets, heads, headers. Most gaskets need to go from middle out. So just remember that and put your bolts back where you pulled them from. And next is getting the motor mount back in. I did have to pull that. And what I did is I loosened these 2 bolts on the bottom over here, and then the 4 bolts here, and then I just smacked it out of the way. And I held the motor up with something because that's, I have a lift, like I said, so you might have to do it different on the ground or something. But good luck, and there'll be more to come.